very much. I also would like to thank Kaz for inviting me to Michigan Pinball. Oh, there he is. I have made a tremendous amount of friends in pinball, and that's what this is about. It's like, you do make money with pinball machines, there's no question. But you wouldn't, I don't know. My heart is in making pinball machines, that's what I do. A couple of things I just want to say after hearing some other people speak, okay? I work for a company that's making pinball machines right now. And with AC/DC, we're up 30%, okay? Our company is kicking ass. I hate to say it, but it's true. We're not hurting. It doesn't need saving. I love everything that we're doing right now. I really love the new freedom that they have given me to make games. On AC/DC, management said to me, Steve, make the game you want that will make us successful. And that's what we got to do. I like to listen to everybody in our design crew. I do. I do listen to them. I want all the good ideas in my game that I can possibly get. I am not insecure about accepting ideas from other people. I'm just not. If you're on my team and you're going to contribute, I love it. If it's bad stuff, it makes it a little hard because I don't let bad things in the game if I can help it. I like to make good things. Anyway, with the production how it is right now, it looks like we're going to continue making AC/DC well into 2014, in segments. We're not all going to make them continuously, but they'll be, interrupted with our current game and whatever. But it looks like we keep getting orders, so we're very happy with that. I got to tell you a story. Okay, there's this guy. He's a Catholic, but he hasn't been to church in a long time. Okay. Let's call him Jack. And he walks by the church, and he decides to go inside. And he walks up to the confessional. There's nobody else around. He walks in, sits down. And there's this light, his eyes adjust to the dim light in there. He sees, this nice vestal wine on the wall, the best, cigars, chocolates, and a really nice display of ladies who forgot to put their clothes on. He hears a noise outside, and he says, Father, boy, the church has really changed since I've been here. And the priest says, get out, idiot, you're on my side. Not that funny, huh? Anyway, as far as pinball goes, I'm working on a new game. I'm not supposed to talk about it. Like, people know what it is, but I can't confirm anything. I'm not gonna. We're having a good time making it. It's exciting. It's really cool. And trying to do some more breakout things. Python spoke about jets and, and lanes and ramps that you shoot. I think if we leave those out, people are actually kind of angry. But I'm not going to say that, I'm not going to leave it closed at that. I'm interested in finding good shots, but there's only certain amounts of good shots from angles on the flipper. Adding flippers is a good idea, though. It's great. Produce a new center of activity every time you put another flipper on a game, no question. We have some great new devices coming up. I think you're going to like them. One is like, I don't know, this is the most ambitious game I've ever made. That's what I can say about it. Anyway, I'm not sure why this picture is in there. This was like taken, this is another pinhead in Germany, Martin Wiest, and we rented motorcycles and rode in the Alps. It was really thrilling for me. It's like there's snow on both sides of the road. There's just the asphalt that's thawed out because the sun's out. It was awesome. Let's see, next picture. There we go. I like to call this picture Punishment for Spider-Man. It's like, you didn't actually get him on the game, but I'll probably hurt, He's not happy. I couldn't put him in there like that. Oh, this is one of my friends. I'm sorry about the motorcycle pictures, but this is one of my friends, okay? He's like a wheelie monster, and he's really good. This is a track, too, but then this happens, and he breaks his arm. Actually, I have a lot of friends on crutches and stuff that ride dirt bikes. This is Willie. John Borg standing next to me. I don't know if you guys ever saw him before. That's John Borg. It was a while back. This is an old picture of high speed. I don't know how many of you guys have seen this before, but that's high speed. That's how it started out. And then we realized that it was a bad game. It was a bad game. We couldn't figure out how to make the rules work with it. So we started over. Larry stripped out all the code, Larry DeMar, and I restarted on a new play field, and it looked much different. Oh, this is the night to remember. This is a night in Hamburg, Germany. And I can't even open my eyes because the guy on the left, his name is Hans Rosenzweig, great guy, fun. He was the master of the German distributorship for Williams. And he gave me grappa. You know what grappa is? Grappa is like a killer alcohol, shots of grappa, and then an espresso. And a grappa, and an espresso, and a grappa, and an espresso. So I went to bed in the hotel room, and I crashed, and I just woke up and crashed. I woke up, it was disgusting. It was horrible the next day. Standing next to me on the left side there is Eugene Jarvis, and on the right side is Joe Quadri, our Swiss representative, Williams. Probably about, I don't know, 81, 82. This is a picture that's totally set up. It's like, I already drew the line. I have my pencil on, okay? But they wanted to take a picture of Steve Kordak in the foreground, my brother, Barry Osler, and I'm sitting in front of the game. We didn't go to work that way, you know. They would say, picture day, wear a suit. Okay. That's how it was then. Here you can see Steve Kordak and Barry, you know, it was picture day again, but then I had to work on the line. I wasn't going to work in my suit. So you can tell who the guys are that are really working on the game. It's like my brother and me and Barry and Steve are, it's not their game, okay? They're good guys. I enjoyed working with everybody there. Everybody will tell you that, you know, wow. Williams was the most powerful pinball company ever, beyond a doubt. Everyone that was good was there, and it was a great time. I like this. This is from the back there, Pat Lawler. His name begins with W. Anybody help me with that? Ward Pemberton, that's it. Thank you. And then Barry Usler, then Joe Camico, Jim Patla, and Claude Fernandez, and then we have John, what's his last name? Norris. Yes, thank you, John Norris, and Jerry Armstrong, and Rob Burke, and Dennis Nordman, and me. And Dennis Nordman is saying, you see that chick in like the fourth row? And I go, Anyway, where'd you get that shirt? Where did you get that shirt? What are you doing wearing it? Okay, thanks. Okay, this is like, this is Ed Boone and I, and it's like, you know, it's like really bad jet lag. We get off and we have to go to the El Dorado arcade in Hamburg, and we had just finished F-14 Tomcat, and it's like, I don't know, this picture's kind of gay. Get rid of that one. This is a sunset picture I took. It's like, I don't take great pictures. It just happened by accident. These are pinhead people. The guy on the right is pathetic. His name is Mario Van Cleve. He can fix any problem with any pinball. He's amazing, and he's got a nice collection. Also a good friend, and that's his lady, Patricia. It's American flag, hey. Stern's an American company. I like that, I really do. This is my wife, Diana. I need her to live. I know that sounds strange, but yeah, I need taken care of because I'm a mess. And you would be too if you had to make pinball machines, okay? All right. This is Jody Dankberg. He's the guy that's in charge of marketing. He's an interesting character. He's young and crazy and sometimes gets things done. This is Gary. Gary's in a happy mood, stealing candy from Shelley. This is my granddaughter, and I'm going to pass a collection plate for some plastic surgery a little bit later. This is my brother Mark. You might know him. He made some great games. Taxi, Indiana Jones. That's my favorite one. Lots of them. Sorcerer, Diner. I don't know. Cool games. Fishtails. That's an awesome game. Anyway, I wish he would come back to pinball, but he's not. He's working for Eugene Jarvis at Raw Thrills, and I don't think he's going to leave there. He has a good gig there as a producer. This is the first bell that was on AC/DC. It's made of styrofoam, and a guy named Dave Link does a lot of our sculptures. Not all of them, but he sculpted that for us. I'm happy to get that, put it on the game and play it, because I don't have that. I don't know what it really weighs, how it swings, all that kind of stuff. So I was happy to get this. These are two guys from Norway, and I said hi, and they said something in Norwegian, and I didn't understand it, and I took their picture. In Norway, all you have to do is drive up. Wait, in Norway, okay, all you have to do is drive up and load up a game. You could take them. They don't mind. What?
I think he was Swedish, the guy to the left. The text in his shirt is
Yeah, what did his shirt say? I want to know that. Anyway, this was getting ready for a show in Norway. I'll tell you what, there are pinball people, pinheads that are so crazy and enthusiastic all around the world. And in Norway, they're no different, okay? It's beer and it's pinball. I don't know what else there is to do there because the weather's not good. They play pinball. Women are in there somewhere. I know they are, but, you don't see them hanging around much around the pinball guys. It's unfortunate. My friend Eugene always says, the pinball business, it's a great business if you want to meet men. It's really true. We don't have any. This guy is drunk but nice and friendly. He had a good time. These three are drunk and not so friendly. And actually, they were nice to me. They were very cool. Those two guys, oh my God. The two guys on the left took me out they bought a bottle of cognac at a restaurant. I think they paid like $300 for it. And they made me drink with them the whole thing until it was gone. I didn't go to bed until 4 o'clock in the morning. This is Dave Link. I've shown this picture before. AC/DC came out, and no one said, hey, what's he holding? That's the AC/DC train, which he also sculpted. And this is, every year he has a haunted house that is just spectacular. It's scary. People, like my wife won't go because she knows that people get really scared. It's an amazing thing, and he does that every year. This is the AC/DC Premium Manelli Whitewood. I'm sure you've seen pictures on the web, and oh God, that face, I remember that. An interesting game and an interesting evolution. It was like maybe 3 Whitewoods to get everything, the Pro, the Premium, and LE, and make them, they don't even have to be compatible, but actually they're very different, but it's, some things are similar, so you have to keep track of that now. I'm working on 3 models of the next game at the same time, 3 drawings. It's like making 3 games, but I don't mind as long as we're making pinball machines. These are some guys on the line testing an AC/DC. Jim Shelberg, wow. Where'd you get those horns? Anyway, John Borg. This is really John Borg. This is Stephen Jensen. He's a very good artist. He did the artwork for Let There Be Rock, the back glass, and the cabinet and back glass for Back in Black, and also the premium Translite Only, which was very cool. That's my favorite one, actually. There's more double people. This is Pedro on the line, great man. It's like, the people on our production line do a good job, as good as they can, We sometimes have a lot more trouble with vendors, okay? People that, we need 20 cannon brackets to be, in the factory, today. Otherwise, we can't build machines. So if they come in wrong, we can't build machines. And sometimes it gives us all grief. These are more double people. That's Jose. Very good tester. Excellent. I forgot his name, but he's definitely an AC/DC fan. This is Gilbert, another tester, great tester in the factory. This is Dorothy. This is the lady you talk to, without the horns, in customer service. And she has a lot of patience. Try it. John Rostermel, and a great mechanical engineer. He looks happy in that picture, doesn't he? I don't want to wear the horns. I got work to do. Get out. And Lyman's gone crazy. This is Lyman. He's the programmer. Speaking of Lyman, he's a great guy. We get along good. We like to, he's younger than me, like 20 years younger, but it doesn't matter. It's just, we love pinball. We have the same kind of feeling about it. The only thing is, he's a great player and I'm just an okay player. But I like that because we get a good blend. When things are more difficult for new players, it's not that cool. You guys, most of you, are pretty good and understand pinball rules and been playing them for a long time. And, you know, it's like, it's not so difficult for you to just fall in and play a game, but for newbies, and we'd like to get as many new players as possible because it's going to make pinball stronger. And we are getting some new players. We're finding that people are operating AC/DC LEs. I expect Jack's Wizard of Oz is going to be operated. You know, this is all good for pinball. I'm hoping that people will come up to the game. Anyway, I like to deal with the front end, okay, the part that average players see because I identify with them. I don't want to lose my ball instantly. I want to have some fun, and I want to try and figure out something. And it would be nice if I really have a good game. If I could light an extra ball and get one. So I generally influence the front end, but the deep rules, which many people really love, and I'm never going to take them out. I don't care what Python says or anybody else. Those deep rules are there because they make the game last for a lifetime. If you have to fight for those things and you eventually get them, there's a certain triumph in that knowledge, and it's like, it's wonderful. I'm not going to take that away. Stack of back boxes for AC/DC in the factory. I know this is really boring. This is a slideshow, okay? No one's slideshow is exciting, all right? No one's, ever. Okay, what this is the full parking lot at Stern, okay? When I drive in the morning, I know if we have trouble on the line because there'll be a lot of cars that won't be there because they tell them to go home, they can't build games, they'll keep the core group. It's usually part shortages, but it can be other things, like, you know, we'll get a batch of playfields that don't look nice and they got to be sent back. We can only build 30 games, we don't need 30 people. It's kind of sad, you know. It's a big responsibility for me. I like to think that, you know, we keep a lot of people employed by making good games, games that sell. I know it sounds so commercial, but if pinball doesn't sell, there's no money to build the next one. And that's about it. It has to sell. It just has to. But I'm not going to just do anything, you know, to make them sell. I want to make sure that everybody enjoys the games. And this is a nice side too, when you see your games going in a big truck, you know, and whoops, jumped ahead there. This is a container load of AC/DCs that are going to France, and they're premiums. Actually, no, this is a mix of premiums and pros. And no, they're still making them. They're still going out the door. It makes me happy, and it's making the company money. This is Gary Flower, a good friend, and he's like, they have these weird chains, like everything's kind of a little bit evil in England, you know, hatchets and dungeons and stuff. Well, even the chains have spikes in them. That's a spike down there. It's weird. This is my brother and I. We take street rides now and then. There's no place to dirt ride in Illinois, so this is what we do. Those are Suzuki V-Stroms. V-Strom. It's a typo. I just took the sticker off my bike because people would say, did they spell it? Wasn't it supposed to be V-Storm? No, V-Strom. Yeah. It's a bad name.
Real bike, stay off the dirt, Steve.
Say it again?
He said, get off that dirt and stay on the cement. I'm glad you finally got a real bike.
Anyway, I like to call this the highest point in Illinois. The only reason it's the highest point is because there's a big hole in the ground, okay, right in front of it. That's a hole in the ground, and I'm standing on the other edge, kind of. So the highest point in Illinois is about 30 feet above sea level. Not really, I think it's about 500. More folks on the line. Final test, just before it goes in the box. Another tester, this guy's great. I mean, finds problems, and he looks for them. He doesn't, you know, he never tries to cover anything up. He's just a really diligent guy. So it's okay. Okay, I don't really know why this is in here. I'm just going to cut to the chase. I took a trip up to Wisconsin with my brother, and it was a beautiful place, owned by a friend, and I helped build this shooting stand, and we shot guns. It was great, all kinds of stuff, AR-15, AK-47. Okay, this is, you know, I love that tailgate picture I just do. I'm not a gun advocate. I mean, you know, I fired maybe 50 rounds. I do enjoy shooting, and I don't want to lose my guns. I'm not going to kill anybody, I promise. This is my brother. He's like, he just got this new pistol, so he loves that. More pictures of the inside of the place. It's a very nice place to stay. It was fun. Cold, but okay. Another picture of Wyman with his favorite beverage in his hand, coffee, 12 cups a day. At the end of the day, he's like, ooh, hi. More AC/DC premiums, more Pedro, and this guy's name is Ricardo, man. He loves it when I take the picture, the pose and everything, any way I want him to do it. Actually, he'll create his own poses. Gilbert can't be bothered. A lot of these people, like this lady right here, she's been with Stern for like 20 years, and the guy next to her too. It's like, this is what they do, and they do a great job. The cabinet's going down the line, and this lady's like, that tray is full of all the little things, all the details that have to go on the play field. It's on a piece of foam. She doesn't drop tools. She's putting on all these little details with great dexterity. That's what I would say. Ladies have much better control over the fingers than a bunch of old men, that's for sure. This is Lewis, another tester. He's great. More testers. This is our new office building. Not office building. It's like an office section where they moved, Gary and Shelley and our salespeople all in these brand new offices, And it's kind of good because we're expanding engineering. I have a new office and we're changing things around. We're probably going to have a big bullpen for programmers. We have a couple of new programmers that are going to learn how to program. Lonnie and Wyman are probably going to help them along a bit. And I'm sure we have another new programmer that's very promising. His name is Daniel Kleiss. He did the original Metallica game that was hanging around California with Dirty Donnie artwork, and he's definitely a pinball guy. This is our new Vice President of Sales, John Biscaglia. And Shelley Sachs, of course, she's going to be talking to you. Jim Belt, the hallway and the offices. This is really boring. I told you it's a slideshow. Nobody likes them. This is a big field of boxes, and they're waiting to go in trucks, and they leave daily, which is cool. We can build, I'm not going to say how many games a day, but they come and they go. It's a good thing. Two ladies that, actually I have to check with the one on the right if I want to take any parts off the line. So, I go shopping at night. If I need parts for my game, okay, they're not going to know about it. I'm going to go out to the line and get what I need. And Gary will walk by and he'll go, oh, doing a little shopping, huh, Steve? And he goes, yeah. And I said, yeah. And he goes, I understand. More games, more. This is Wei Sim Chang and Lonnie, and I don't know what they're talking about. I don't even care. These guys are fixing, like that back there is going to be Greg Ferris's room. I mean, Greg Ferris now is sitting in my office, like right behind me. I love it because we did another game together. His initials are STTNG, and it's like, it's fun to, not just fun, it's useful for us to talk about what we're doing all day. You look skeptical. Did I say something? Okay, all right. Did I offend you? I mean...
No, not at all.
Wait, were you on our team or something? Okay. All right, so that office is going to be his. And he said, at first he said, I want a submarine in the area. Okay. He said, am I really going to end up with this paneling from the 70s? And they said, yeah, you're kind of... Okay, so now he's going to do it and... he's bringing a bunch of old stuff, and he's going to decorate it. I mean, I can't believe it, but it might look good. This is my new office. It's got, that's a fake door over there, and there's another fake door on this side where you can't see it. So I'm going to put doorknobs on there where they don't turn or anything. This is an area where people don't want me to take their picture. But these are like techs. The first one, her name is Raina, and she's very good with harnesses. Also, AutoCAD. she speaks Spanish, so she speaks to people on the line, and we have a new, it's taken one iteration instead of 2 or 3 to get our harnesses correct. You make a prototype, send it out to the line, they make it, and it comes back not working. It's not always their fault, though. Often we will change what we want to do on the game, the wiring or whatever, so we make her life miserable. Anyway, things have definitely improved in the area. The next guy is Dave Cadeau, and he's like a tech in the lab. He's like helping me build my whitewood. Now, it's right behind that white ball, by the way, right there. And this is George's office. It used to be Gary's. I wouldn't want to be in there. Kind of smelly. Okay, this is Greg Ferris. Okay, great artist. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He's done a lot of games, and Greg's a lot more than just an artist. Okay, he's funny. He's got a great wit. He's good for scripting when we want to build stories and ideas and things that. Hey, come back. It went away. Anyway. Greg's like, a pinball guy. Pinball guys, yeah, you guys are pinball guys. Pinball guys, in a factory making pinballs, like, it takes years and years to absorb everything. If you want to learn about what it takes to make a pinball machine, you kind of have to know all the mistakes that were made, and it's hard to convey, what is, oh, here's the problem. Yeah. Does that work? No. Yes. Anyway, it's really hard anyway. It takes a long time to learn how to make pinball machines. I had good teachers. I had, this guy from Chicago who came to Atari when I first worked there, and I made a bad game called Airborne Adventure. I wouldn't call it bad. It's just a dope making a pinball machine. Okay, I learned how to lay out a pinball machine, and I drew it, and it's like, Airborne Avenger is too many words for a spell out, if you ask me. That's one problem. There's a hole you can't even hit. It's not even in line with Flipper, so kind of clueless, but I did learn how to make a pinball machine. And a lot of people have helped me out in the past. I mean, it used to be that I could go and talk with Norm Clark and Steve Kordak and Harry Williams, and we would talk about game design and how we think about things. And we couldn't talk about secrets, but Steve Kordak and even Wayne Nyans to an extent, we have chatted and talked about what we do and why. Also Steve Kirk, I kind of miss him. He was a loony bin, but he was a good designer. I really respect Meteor and Nine Ball and Stars. I love those games actually. Anyway, Greg, and the next picture is like, I'm going to show you my whitewood right now. No, I'm not. Oh my God, get rid of that. Okay, this is Jody. He's not very happy with me for taking a picture. And this is a picture of racing in California. I started racing dirt bikes when I was 50 years old, and it was really fun, but I don't live there anymore. This is my new playfield. It's a view from the back of the back panel. Like if you were the back glass, you could see the whole game, but you're not. Anyway,
like a different back panel.
That's the end of my slideshow. I always have fun coming to shows and talking to people. I enjoy it. I always have. Pinball is very special to me. It's always going to be. I really enjoy it when people tell me that they enjoy my games. It's like, it's not more important than money, but it's pretty darn good. It is. It's a nice feeling, and that's why I do it. I do it because I want to create some fun, and I want people to like our games, and you can't ask. You got to produce. You got to make it happen. Anyway, I just wanted to say, on behalf of Stern Pinball, pinball is doing very well right now. The best it's done since 2006. And that's the truth. And we're a company that is actually building pinballs. Just wanted to say that. Anyway, I would be happy to answer any questions you might have. Yes, sir. Jim, if you want to know.
You had mentioned Airborne Avengers. What about, can you tell us anything around the time when you were at Atari and designing Superman?
Okay, Superman was, I don't know, I think it took me 4 Whitewoods to get it right. And getting it right meant not doing the things I did on Airborne Avenger. Getting it right meant fighting management to stop using rotary solenoids. Like, Nolan Bushnell was a good guy, he had a good heart, and but he wanted to do everything all new, so he put the display down in the lower arch, and it's clueless. Nobody can see what's going on. Yeah, I mean, scores advertise a lot. There's a lot of ego involved in scores. If I got the high score, I want everybody to see it and rub it in. You know, that's about it. And whether you admit it or not, everybody likes to have the high score. Everybody likes to win. Okay, so that's where that belongs. Linear solenoids, we finally, you know, Eugene and I had a talk with them and begged them, hey, look, okay, the rest of the world is using linear solenoids. They pull and they move things and they don't break. Okay, and finally he agreed. So we started developing our own, and while we were on the way to developing our own, we bought Bally parts. Bally was very cooperative about, you know, helping us out. I'm not sure why. Why help a competitor? I don't get it. Anyway, Superman was a contest between myself and Gary Slater, Eugene Jarvis, who was the game programmer, and I forgot the name of the other programmer. He was good and a nice guy, and they picked our game. So we got to be Superman. And, about, you know, 7/8 of the way through, I got the offer from Williams, from a real pinball company in Chicago, and it was great. It was more than twice as much money, and I just knew that if I was going to be a pinball designer, I had to go to Chicago. It's going to be one company or another in Chicago. And I really liked the president, Mike Stroll. He was a great guy. He was charismatic. He had good plans. I mean, I didn't really know if they were good or not, but they sure sounded good. And they had this huge machine waiting to feed designs to, and so it was awesome. Anyway, I had gone through, I made Flash, and it sold big numbers, like almost 20,000, and then I think the next game was Stellar Wars, which, you know, it's okay, it's a wide body, we did all right with it. And then Superman came out from Atari, after I'd already finished Flash and Stellar Wars. And it was, you know, it was fun to see the 3 games in an arcade, you know, switching off for number 1 or whatever, and it was an exciting time. I also got to work with George Opperman. George Opperman was responsible for everything that happened at Atari. I do have another Atari story, though, that I need to tell you guys, okay? I don't know if you know this, okay, but Steve Jobs worked at Atari when I was there, okay? And I was, you know, supervisor of the Pinball Prototype Lab, and, you know, he was like Joe Cool, so every morning I'd walk in, I'd say good morning to him, and he would say nothing back to me. Nothing, okay? Not a word. And while we were developing Superman over here, they're making Breakout. Him and Steve Wozniak, who's the exact opposite, great guy, very nice to me. I was quite a bit younger than them, so was Eugene. But we used to go over there because we loved Breakout. We knew it was going to be a hit game as soon as we played it. You know, it was just so much fun. It was electrifying. And Steve Jobs would be sitting on his chair with his feet up on the desk, okay, his arms back like this, stinking to high heaven because he never took a shower. I'm not kidding. In fact, the vice president of engineering was looking for a way to get rid of him. Really, wouldn't get rid of him. Anyway, he was never nice to me. You know, some people die young. Sorry. You know, I mean, God punishes people, they do. For me, it's like hair coming out the ears. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, oh God, please don't make me woke man. I don't want to be a woke man. And God goes, how's it going, Harry? My name's not Harry. It is now. H-A-I-R-Y. Anyway, that's the story of Superman. Yes, sir.
So I hear Lyman does a lot of this programming on his own, off the clock. Is he truly off the clock? Does he ever get paid for it? And do you do any work on your own off the
It
clock?
sounds like a 30-part question.
Does Lyman and do you work off the clock and run time? And do you get paid for it?
Okay, on AC/DC I work 22 weekends, the whole 2 days. Lyman doesn't get involved in a game until it's been happening for about 4 or 5 months because it takes us that long to get a white wood and all the parts for it. Okay, so there's nothing to put in his room. We can talk and we can set up matrices, you know, which driver is going to control what solenoid and all that, but that's kind of changing daily. But after I am done, Lyman has to continue work, and he does, and he'll work on the game as long as management will let him, and they did let him work on AC/DC for a long time. It is kind of regrettable that we can't ship games, you know, with all the code in it, but there's so much to AC/DC. I don't know if you guys have any idea. It's like, it was like, sometimes we felt like we painted ourselves in a corner by playing music behind the game. I mean, you know, we said, we're not going to step on a music with another tune. You pick that tune and you play it, and if you can play long enough, you're going to hear the whole thing. All, you know, 16 minutes of Let There Be Rock or whatever, including Angus's lead. So it's like, we did that, and we kind of did get painted into a corner at a couple of points, but we just said, okay, we're going to hang with this and keep going. And I think the rule set that he came up with is spectacular. It's like amazing. Yes, he does work on his own at home, and he doesn't get paid for it. Okay, this is really weird for me to say, but right now I'm getting vertigo. I can laugh it off because if I'm allowed to sit with my head down for a couple of minutes, it'll go away. In fact, sometimes it goes away by itself. And some of it is caused by, I have Meniere's disease. I don't hear very well, but if I turn these down a little bit, I'm okay. I'm all right. In fact, just talking about it kind of made it go away. It's generally caused by a change in barometric pressure or nervousness, which I'm not. I'm not nervous at all. I'm among friends. Anyway, does that answer the question?
Yes.
Great. Take another question, Jim. It's fine with me.
Anybody else?
Yeah, it's all cool. Just take another question.
I'd like a story about his designing a black line.
Don't feel bad if you have questions. If you don't have questions, it's okay too.
Story about that. Just design.
Designing Black Knight? There's many stories about designing Black Knight. Okay, it's called Black Knight in Paris. It is an absolutely true story. We made Black Knight, and in those days, our biggest distributors would have very lavish parties, especially in Europe. And the French distributor went all out. He rented a giant cafe. Cafe kind of means bar in France, you know, especially in Paris. I mean, yeah, you can get food there and coffee, but it's mostly a bar, really. Anyway, this was a big cafe, and there was like about 500 people that came, all the operators that dealt with the distributorship, and we were going to unveil Black Knight. And like I said, the French do things like big time. It was amazing, at least then. So, how can I say this? I'm going to call him Francois. That's his name. Francois was gay. That's it. And a great guy, all right. But it's like you could sort of, you know, sometimes it was like hard to take when. Never mind. He emceed the show, and he borrowed his first officer's wife. You know, sort of for looks. I don't know. I hide it. You know, and he stands up in front of the audience and says some stuff in the microphone, and all of a sudden the band starts up and is playing medieval music, and the curtains open, and out comes this big, huge black horse with a guy dressed up in armor, okay? And he rears up, and people are freaking out. They're clapping, applause, you know, and everything, yelling even, you know. Us too. I mean, Marty Glazeman, he's a salesman then, and you know, and I just stood up and started clapping. It was amazing that he would do this, you know. And the horse came down, you know, and he kind of looked at the audience, and then he let everything go. Okay, we're talking about a garden hose size scream, all right? At about 20 psi, hitting the stage and go out to the audience, okay? People were screaming, and then plop, okay? I'm not going to get into it, all right? But it's like the smell just killed us. People are crying. I mean, Francois is crying in the microphone, oh, and it's just like, his friend came to console him, and all this, and people came out like in white coats, and they had a big shovel, and they were like taking it away, Everybody went outside, okay? Everyone went outside, because it's an outdoor cafe too. And, they followed up with, everybody got champagne and no hors d'oeuvres. That was like not cool. Anyway, but everybody got free champagne, and they were out there, and they put disinfectant down on the stage, and they opened up the back doors of the cafe, so all the air went out, or maybe it went the other way. I don't know what happened, but pretty soon people started laughing about it, and it was like one of the weirdest moments of my life. So we go back in, and Francois starts the show again, and we unveiled Black Knights. As it turns out, everybody loves the game. It's fine. It was just an embarrassing moment in coin-op history. If there's no more questions, or if you have one, don't be afraid to ask. All right, I want to say thank you very much for having me. I always enjoy coming to shows. This is a great one. Thank you very much.